Hey guys, I'm gonna do a 2020 wrap-up video. There's a few things I want to cover in this one. Got my notes here so I don't forget anything. A couple things I want to cover are your fish care and your water care throughout the winter. We've touched on it a little bit. I'm gonna go into a little more in-depth into it. A little bit of year in review of 2020 and the big plans for 2021. So obviously, during the winter time, water temperatures get down there. Right now, my water temperature in my outside pond is around 42 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 5.5, I think, Celsius. Once you get into those low 40s, your fish really slow down. They're cold-blooded, so their environment is what controls their body. The warmer the water, obviously, the warmer their bodies, their metabolism's higher, their heartbeat's higher, their breathing rate's higher. They eat more, they're more active. In cold water, it's the exact opposite. It's just like if you're cold, you're shivering and trying to keep yourself warm. Well, fish don't do that. Fish have no internal warming capabilities. So as the water gets cold, they slow way down, they eat less, they produce less waste. And once we get under that 40-degree mark, your fish will become very, very inactive. In some cases, they'll even be laying on the bottom of the pond. When it gets to this point, well, even when it gets into the low 40s, you kind of want to leave your fish alone. Don't disturb them a whole lot. You don't want them using any more energy than they absolutely have to. So that's why it's important to make sure that your pond, inside of your pond, is clean as it can be before the cold temperatures start, because you don't want to go in and try cleaning leaves and stuff out of your pond when they're approaching their shutdown phase. Another thing you want to stay on top of is you want to stay on top of your water tests. The water will still be changing, chemistry will still be happening. Now your ammonia and your nitrite and your nitrate will pretty much not be an issue, because again, you're not feeding your fish as much, they're not active. So the waste is all but eliminated. But you still do have to keep an eye on your KH and your pH. Calcium, you want to make sure that the fish still have calcium to absorb. You want to make sure that any of the used up minerals that are in the water, and again, they're not getting used as fast, but you don't want to let it run out, okay? So water changes don't have to be as frequent, but if you get a break in the temperatures and it's nice enough, I suggest doing a 10 to 20% water change. It still needs to happen. Now, obviously, if the water's froze over and you're in a really cold part of the country, you don't really have that option. But in areas where the water just gets good and cold, we really don't freeze, we still want to try to stay on top of our water changes. So again, during the winter, you can't just forget about them, but it's way much more low maintenance than it is during the summer. And as far as feeding your fish, if your fish seem interested in food, you can feed them as long as it's not more than once or twice in a week. Now, once the water gets below 40 degrees, I highly recommend not feeding them at all. It's just not needed, because their body is slowed down so much that they're just going off of their reserves at that point. And that is enough to sustain them through the winter. It feels like you're being cruel to them. It feels like you're torturing them, but you're not. They're slowing down so much that they're using very, very, very little energy, thus very, very little food and very little of their food stores. Come springtime, the water starts warming up, they'll become more active and they'll be ready to eat. They'll be ready to replenish all that. But during the winter, they're going to be just fine. So 2020, it's been a crazy year for everybody. With the pandemic, it's changed a lot of plans. And as most of you know, I started this hobby with the ponds this spring with no baseball games, you know, limited things you can do. It was a great opportunity to get into the hobby, and I think it was a blessing in disguise, if you will. It kept me busy, kept me occupied with something, and it's been very enjoyable, and I've learned a lot. And so pretty much all of 2020 has been the pond life for me, the koi, learning about koi, and like I said, it's been a great hobby, so it was good timing. So what are the big plans for 2021? Well, as I've touched on a couple of times, I am going to do an additional pond. It's going to be a slow process. I'm torn between a DIY pond or getting one built with cinder blocks. It's still going to be half above ground, half below ground. With cinder blocks, kind of like Andy's over there at Koi Pond Lifestyle. Cinder blocks, fiberglass lining, so it's solid. All the plumbing is going to be permanent, and I'm kind of excited to get it going. But again, it's all gonna depend on finances. With the end of the year coming, I mean, work is priority right now. That's why this is going to be the last video. With the holidays coming up, I am going to be traveling north to see the fam, and so the big plans to start that, it's all in the thought phase right now. I just know I would like to try to get it done by the end of the year, so hopefully in 2022 springtime I can get it fired up, get it going, move the bigger fish from the small pond into that one, keep a couple of the koi in the smaller pond, and then these guys are going to go into the smaller pond. That is the plan. It can happen faster, it could happen slower, who knows. The other thing is I'm going to be on a hunt for the perfect Showa. Not a $80,000 Showa, but just one with great coloring, good growth, you know, good shape. I finished this year really looking hard to get me a good quality Showa. Didn't really come across any. So that's the one addition I want to make this year. It's the only one I'm really focused on. I'm happy with all the fish I have so far. They're all healthy, they're doing good. And I do want to get the Sweeney Koi Cafe automatic feeder. That's going to be on my shopping list this year, next year. If you go to Sweeney.com, I think it's Sweeney.com, they're on there, solar powered, 14 different settings. They're great, and it's just good for keeping a good consistent feeding for your fish. And other than that, guys, like I said, this is going to wrap it up for 2020. I've enjoyed doing the channel. I'm going to continue to do the channel. I hope it keeps growing. 25 subscribers. I think I've got my first video with 100 views. And like I said, it's been fun. It's been cool. It's an awesome hobby. I hope to learn more. I hope to make some changes to the existing pond, improve that. And it's a great hobby. It's just a great hobby. There's nothing else I can say about it. And I want to thank everybody that has subscribed, watched these videos. I'm very thankful for the people that I've met through this channel and through their channels. It's a cool little fellowship. I like it. So other than that, guys, I don't have much. I'm going to wrap this video up. And as always, keep on investing, keep on improving. And I want to wish all you guys out there happy holidays. Enjoy it with your family. And let's just hope and pray that 2021 is a little less crazy than 2020 was. All right, guys, that's all I got. Thanks, and we'll catch you on the next video.